Have you ever sent a text message? Of course you have. We send billions of them every single day. They're quick, convenient, and they've totally changed how we communicate. But have you ever stopped to wonder where it all began? Who sent the very first one? And what did it say? The story is more fascinating than you might think, and it all starts with a simple holiday greeting. Let's rewind to December 3rd, 1992. The world was a different place. The internet was still a niche thing for academics and nerds. Mobile phones were the size of bricks, and if you wanted to talk to someone, you called them. Texting, as we know it, simply didn't exist. But behind the scenes, a group of engineers was working on something revolutionary. Enter Neil Papworth, a 22-year-old software engineer working for a company called SEMA Group. He was part of a team developing a short message service, or SMEs, for their client, a major telecom company. The idea was to create a way for company staff to send simple messages to each other, like a modern-day pager system. They weren't thinking about teenagers, emojis, or viral memes. This was purely a business tool. On that December day, Papworth was at his office, ready to conduct the first-ever test. His colleague, Richard Jarvis, was at a company Christmas party. Papworth's job was to send a message from his big desktop computer to Jarvis. Or by a 901 phone, a massive device that weighed over 2 kg. Think of it less like a phone and more like a portable dumbbell. The moment came. Papworth typed out his message. He needed something simple, something festive to fit the occasion. So, what did he write? The two words that would unknowingly kickstart a global communication revolution. Merry Christmas. Hit send. A few moments later, across town at the party, Jarvis's giant phone beeped. The message had arrived. History was made. Interestingly, Jarvis couldn't reply. His phone could receive messages, but the technology to send them from a handset wasn't ready yet. It was a one-way street. It would take another year before Nokia released the first phone that allowed users to type out and send SMS messages to each other. Even then, the feature was buried deep in the phone's menus. For the first few years, texting was slow to catch on. In 1995, the average person sent less than one text per month. It was clunky. You had to use the numeric keypad, tapping keys multiple times to get the right letter, the dreaded T9 system that everyone over 30 remembers, with a mix of nostalgia and frustration. Plus, you could only text people on the same mobile network. It was far from the seamless experience we have today. But then, something shifted. By the late 90s and early 2000s, things started to change. Networks began allowing cross-carrier messaging, and phone manufacturers made texting easier to access. But the real catalyst was the rise of prepaid mobile plans, which made phones accessible to younger people. Suddenly, teenagers had a new, cheap, and discreet way to talk to their friends. Why did texting explode in popularity? Think about it. It was cheaper than a voice call. You could do it silently in class or under the dinner table without your parents knowing. It allowed for a different kind of conversation, one that wasn't immediate. You could think about your reply, craft the perfect response. It gave us control. This new form of communication even spawned its own language. To save time and stay within the 160-character limit, we developed text-speak, LOL, BRB, oh my god, TTYL. These abbreviations became a cultural shorthand, a secret code for the digital generation. It was efficient, it was cool, and it drove English teachers absolutely crazy. The rise of texting was the beginning of the end for the casual phone call. Why call someone to ask a simple question when a quick text would do? Why interrupt their day when you could send a message they could answer at their convenience? The phone call became reserved for more important, urgent, or emotional conversations. Texting took over everything else. From that one Merry Christmas message, an entire ecosystem was born. It paved the way for instant messaging apps like WhatsApp, Messenger, and It introduced us to emojis, GIFs, and stickers, new ways to convey tone and emotion without using our voice. It fundamentally rewired our social habits. Neil Papworth, the man who sent that first text, had no idea what he was starting. He was just a young engineer doing his job. He didn't patent it. He didn't get rich from it. For years, he was just a footnote in tech history. Today, he's recognized as a pioneer. The man who sent the text heard round the world. So next time you fire off a quick text to a friend, take a moment to appreciate the journey. From a 2-word Christmas greeting sent from a computer to a giant phone, to the billions of messages zipping across the globe every second. It's a reminder that sometimes the biggest revolutions start with the simplest of messages. The world was changed forever. All thanks to a very Merry Christmas. Thanks so much for watching. What was the first text you remember sending? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories from our digital world. See you next time.